Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. I was trying to leave tonalist out, but if you don't know what tonalism is, it's a movement that was very popular in, well, mostly American painting, but also in French painting, late 1800s, yeah. And it was a tonal slash poetic approach to the landscape that eschewed excessive detail. Usually, paintings were tied together with strong color harmony. Scenes would feature either, late afternoon, early evening, or early morning type of subject matter, and that's tonalism. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, this would have been live. It was supposed to be live, but it was pretty, not painful, that would be the wrong word. It was just a drawn out process. And where I'm painting right now that you see, I was just having had started like a dietary type cleanse. And I was flagging. My concentration just wasn't there. And it's not a problem I usually have, but I thought maybe I'd make that maybe the one of the subtexts of the video, which is don't stop, don't make excuses, don't quit, don't give up, just finish the painting. And if it sucks, stick it in a box or turn it towards a wall. One day you pull it out and you might go, oh, I know exactly what to do to fix that. Or you might pull it out and your heart sinks and you say, oh, I thought it was good. Now I remember how bad I suck. And you're saying, why are you telling me to finish this painting, Mike? Listen, just finish it. If it's really bad, you can destroy it immediately, or you can just let it dry and then paint over the top. Trust me, you never remember the bad ones with any real clarity. Yeah, that's why it's such a shock when you come across them in a box of paintings or whatever. Yeah, it's funny. Anyway, I ended up pulling this off, and this is one of my strategies. So I went ahead. I just worked my way through the day. I didn't do anything too incredibly horrible. I will say that this particular scene by Francis Murphy, John Francis Murphy, it was one I hadn't done before, and there's a lot of like, it's kind of boring, but it's a good painting of his. Don't get me wrong. It's just a weird scene, and as much as I love the painting, I don't know if I was ever relishing the idea of doing a study after it. But of all the good Francis Murphy's, it's one of the ones that I hadn't done, so I thought I'd do it. But I started doing it, and my usual inner fortitude was sort of flagging, but I got through it. Took took a couple different stages, and then basically this we're talking like January. Here it is, April now, right? And anyway, I got the we're all in quarantine or whatever, so I got the home studio set up, and I have a box of paintings that needed to be finished, and this was one of them. And I thought, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna get some of these done. There's an Ines study that I finished as well. Um, and that went okay. It was, an hour and a half session, and that's the other reason that I wasn't going to make this live, because the whole thing was 3.5 hours, and it's really slow. I think you're getting the best of it sped up to about 15 right now. Yeah. And it's a really nice looking painting now. It's not everything. The struggle that I had, first of all, like if you go download a copy of this off of Google Images, John Francis Murphy, Hillside Farm. it almost looks like a watercolor. There's a lot of subtle things in these green areas. There's subtle things everywhere. The sky is subtle. The grasses are subtle. There's very subtle mixes of umbers and more red tones, and then a whole slew of greens. From muted to quite vibrant. And I ended up just settling into my own take on it. That's where I had to go. So simplified and abstracted what he did, because if I sat there, and I think that's one of the things I got caught up in actually was seeing everything that he was in his all this subtle like cool stuff, and it because it's such kind of a vague kind of field. I don't know, it was tough. Looks pretty good at this stage right now, actually, we're looking at, but that wasn't his painting at all, His painting it was detail, but a very odd detail. It was a definitely sophisticated painting by Francis Murphy, one of the greatest ever. And apparently knew Ines, and was probably got a few things off of old Ines. I hear that Ines wasn't such a great teacher, um, but because he was so individualistic, he was on his own track. But Murphy, you can see the Corot in Murphy. You can see the Ines as well. You know, it's like, and then you can see he really loved this type of scene. And I remember reading about old Francis Murphy. The only place that you can really read about him that I know of is in A History of American Tonalism by David A. Cleveland. I have that memorized because it's one of my all-time favorite books. In fact, really what I should do in this enforced holiday here is actually sit there and finish reading it. It's so well written. But I have read the chapter on Francis Murphy, and it's pretty extensive. It's like a little mini book. So that if you want to learn more about John, in fact, if you don't have that book, I don't know, sell something and get enough money together to buy it while you still can. Assuming it's still in print, it went out of print one time and was going for hundreds of dollars. Pardon me. A little sniff there. Anyway, so I kept it up, and so my main strategy in this case was put it in a box and wait till I had some strength. And sometimes you need strength and an idea. You need both, right? The idea might be, well, I could do this to that painting. It doesn't even have to be addressing the entire painting. It just could be one spot of the painting is a trouble spot. And you'll find a lot of times you sit in there and you go and start working on that. Now you got your brushes out, you got the painting out, you're sitting there. You're probably just going to keep going as long as you have enough energy to do so. And painting does require some energy. It does require mostly because it requires focus. There's a lot of decisions being made. So, of course, it's mental energy. Yeah, I'm wondering if we're into the second phase now. Looks like it. I'm thinking so, yes. So all of this work we're doing now, you can see I already toned it back with a glaze. His has a very, very glazed feeling. That right off the bat got it looking more tonalist, just right there. But I'm actually surprised that because I'm looking at the overall timeline of the movie, and yeah, I spent almost as long on this here at home as I did. I think in 2 sessions at the studio that was at the antique shop. So, and I've ended up with a really nice Murphy study. I can't afford an actual Murphy. God, that'd be great. Well, it need to have a bigger house to put it in. Anyway, stick to it. So, uh, it's in the box. I've got another bunch of things in the box you would know about. Oh, you didn't know didn't know about this Murphy because I wasn't able to bring it to a level of conclusion enough to present it on YouTube, and that was my feeling. And also because my energy was pretty low while doing what would have been a live session. Would have been like, okay, everybody, you work hard now. Get to work, do more paintings, get more experience. That's all what I was doing. And I actually wonder. It's almost 11, and I'm gonna start doing some painting here today. Um, I have been working on my series of nudes, but I've had a change in my approach. So please subscribe to the channel. But I think what I'm gonna do is like I have a video running you through the 24 or 5 drawings, and then one line video. I decided to break it up into 3 groups of 7, and then we'll have a straggler, right? And I've been bringing those rendering into a certain level, and now I'm waiting for things to dry because they're really at a very interesting state. Because when they have the raw kind of board coming through, that has a great quality to it that's going to disappear the second that I hit it with any kind of glaze or anything. So I'm girding my loins for that. But I'll make sure and pop something on that channel today. It won't be part of that series though. I've got some pretty cool things I've done. And so please do subscribe. It's M. Francis Paints the Nude Figure here on YouTube. Yeah. And anyway, so I was talking about what I'm planning on doing today. I've been doing that in the evening since I have a studio here at the house now. And I've been doing that stuff really in lieu of doing music, which is okay because the music really ties into a lot of repetitive stress injury stuff from my years as a graphic artist. Yeah, so it's good to take a little break from that. And the doing the actual physical artwork doesn't hurt me. So I'm working on the landscapes during the day, and then which is better too for the color. These figures are all sepia tones, so the color is very limited. Yeah, well, now I want you to notice, like in this Murphy here, I started going nuts with like cad reds. I started really just pushing it, and it looks good. If I just say so myself, that's looking rich. There's a great tip. You know, you've been with me now for 13 minutes saying, okay, give us a tip. Here's a tip. You want to throw a lot of reds into your greens. Most artists struggle with the greens, and that's because they're not putting enough reds in there. You can actually try it on your next painting. Just mix up a bit of like I don't know, burnt sienna, or even throw a little cad red into some green off on the side and just smack it right in your tree, and you're just gonna go, ooh, whoa, Mike, I gotta send you a donation, Mike, because that's the greatest tip ever. It really is too. You can send me a donation if you have any money. We're all sitting at home watching YouTube. But yeah, or you can just give me a like, or definitely comments are always appreciated. And what I would really appreciate is subscribe to my new channel. You're gonna dig that. It won't be live. None of it's gonna be live. I figured that out. It's not working out. It'll be sped up stuff, and it might just be music and maybe some commentary. We'll have to see. I'm still formulating what we're going to do, but it's going to be exciting. The images themselves are very, very exciting, I have to say. Anyway, thank you for joining me today, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate you watching the videos, and yeah, you had to have enjoyed looking at this study come together. It doesn't look exactly like a Murphy, but it looks good, and I'm real happy with it, and real happy to share it with you, my friends. So thank you for joining me. I will be back real soon with another video. There will be a link to the new channel down below. I gotta pimp the new channel because I'm going to be rolling out quite a few of those sorts of things. So anyway, until I come back with another video presentation and present it to you, please do me a favor. Take good care of yourself, your family. You can love. It's probably real easy to love your enemies right now because heck, they're not even around. You know, you're at home. So, and stay out of trouble.